On today's episode, I talk about change being an enormous opportunity, not a threat. Welcome back to Weekly Q&A with Steph, episode number 25. So this week I've actually been talking to two different industry providers and one of my favourite all-time accountants, Chris Hooper, about the notion of change and about how our industry and literally the world is changing quicker than what a lot of people are adapting, but also talking about how the adoption, years ago for the early adopters moving to things like cloud and moving to things like value pricing and fixed fees, etc., seemed to really build in momentum, go really, really quick, and then all of a sudden things have started to stagnate as everybody else in our industry and everybody else in the world has started to actually catch up and implement these things. And it's always fascinating to step back and have a look at your industry, have a look at the clients that you deal with, and try and map out or try and have a look at what's actually changed many years ago, how quickly that change has come through, who have been the adopters of that change, and then what actually happens with the laggers who take some time to really embrace what's going on. And the opportunity for the early adopters, the opportunity for people who really embrace any change in their business, who want to learn, who want to be able to really implement things to take them forward, is the fact that we get the upside. So the early people really get the upside swing. Obviously, there's an enormous amount of hard work and there's an enormous amount of effort that goes in for any change management at the beginning. But those early people get to talk to the software providers, as an example, and have a big impact on what's actually being built. And the early adopters get to really test the waters. They get to understand what is fantastic in the new change and the new wave coming through. So it's always fascinating to take a step back. Obviously, the accounting industry and our drive and move to being able to have access to data, etc., i.e. the cloud, started to happen many years ago, but a lot of the majority are just now starting to really embrace and really push forward. And for those early adopters, and I spoke about this with Lisa in our episode before, for our early adopters, it's what's next. What is coming? What else do we really need to get that ball rolling and to push forward into the next phase? So I'm really interested from you. What do you think is going to happen next in the accounting industry? What are you really, really excited about? What would you love to see as kind of this next iteration of what we are doing as accountants in our industry? Let's start the debate. Send me your tidbits or your questions or what you actually think is going to happen next in our industry. So hopefully we can get that excitement going again and we can really push forward. For those of you that are going to Xerocon as well, don't forget to send me your questions that you would love answered. I'm doing a session on the power of social media. As always, thank you for watching and don't forget to press the subscribe button.